Congratulations, you've just gotten engaged to Breckin Hawthorne, heir to one of the most powerful families in Strickfield. You're excited, nervous, and honored. But tonight at dinner with the Hawthornes, you'll learn the truth about what it really means to join their family.
What's that? You want to be scared? Come with me. You will experience tales of horror, ghosts, and death. It is not recommended for the weak at heart. Listen in the dark. It's more fun that way. This is Weekly Spooky.
Hello, my spookies. It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's time for a little spooky in your weekly. I'm your host and narrator, Enrique Couto, and we have quite a terrifying visit to Strickfield planned for this evening. But before we get to that, I want to say thank you so much for joining us. As the summer months continue to warm up and people love to go out and soak up some rays and have a good time, you, my dear spooky, want a taste of Halloween to go with your sun and fun. And that's why I'm here. So thank you for tuning in, and make sure you're subscribed on your favorite podcasting app. Before we get to the story, I do want to say I'm experiencing some big horrors right now in the form of a very large and unexpected car repair. A few spookies asked if they could help, so I set something up. With a $3,500 repair on my Prius, anything helps. All you have to do is go to weeklyspooky.com/help. Sincerely, anything helps, just to take the edge off of such a shock. At weeklyspooky.com/help, or you can join our Patreon for as little as $1 a month. That always helps the program, and you can find that at weeklyspooky.com/join. I really do appreciate your help, but now, as for tonight, they say when you marry into a powerful family, you marry their secrets too. For Priscilla Mirren, getting engaged to Breckin Hawthorne was a dream come true. Prestige, power, and love. What more could she ask for? But when she's invited to dinner at the Hawthorne mansion, she'll discover that the family she's marrying into doesn't just keep secrets. They feed on them. So get cozy. We're diving into that story after this. Meeting the Family by Rob Fields. You're sitting in the living room, waiting for your date to come and pick you up. You've been dating Breckin Hawthorne for over a year now. In all that time, he's shown you so much. He's taken you to exclusive clubs where you can only enter if you're with him. He's taken you to restaurants where it seems like only the privileged can dine. But that doesn't matter to you, right? You are Priscilla Mirren. Inside the Strickfield gated community, other Mirrens look at you as the royalty that you are. You are the eldest daughter of the most prominent Mirren family. Your father is Honor Mirren, but your mother, yes, even though she isn't your biological mother, Rosalie Mirren is the most important woman in the Mirren family. Your mother is the Madame Mirren herself. Rosalie adopted you as her own once she had both become Madame Mirren and accustomed to how things ran. Rosalie is actually young enough to be your older sister. Just the same, the power you possess when people know that you're the daughter of Madame Mirren is evident. That prestige attracted the attention of one Breckin Hawthorne. From there, the arranged relationship would commence. It was agreed between Madame Mirren and Breckin Hawthorne that their children would have a courtship. For the longest time, Breckin treated you like a queen. How many times has he told you that he would do anything for you? How many times has he told you that your wish would be his command? You both know that this arranged courtship would eventually strengthen the power between the Hawthornes and the Mirrens. More than anything, you want only to please your parents. Being the daughter of Madame Mirren is prestige in itself, but to become a Hawthorne with Mirren blood would truly be prestige personified. You gasp when the doorbell rings. You're ready to get up and answer the door, but your mother appears and commands you to remain seated. You obey Madame Mirren without question. She's never become short with you, though you know how truly evil this woman is. To be Madame Mirren, you would truly have to embrace evil. Madame Mirren answers one of the double doors and reveals Breckin Hawthorne. She invites him inside and escorts him right to you. Breckin beholds your radiant beauty, especially when he sees that you've just gotten your breasts surgically enhanced. After all, a Mirren woman is not as such without the breasts to define her. Madame Mirren herself spared no expense to get you the size you desired. Normally, you'd be having your coming out party soon, but your courtship to Breckin is as close enough to a coming out as you'll be getting. Suddenly, Breckin goes down on one knee before you. He compliments your beauty, especially with your new enhancements, as he takes your hand and kisses it. From there, he surprises you with the most beautiful engagement ring you've ever seen, before asking Madame Mirren for your hand. No, it's not honor. Rosalie is the matriarch of both the family and the whole Strickfield gated community. It is a little-known fact that women are the heads of the Mirren colonies. Each one bears the title of Madame Mirren, and none is higher in each colony. You know deep down that you love Breckin, and plead deep in the pit of your stomach for Madame Mirren to give this man her blessing. But why wouldn't she? After all, you being betrothed to Breckin is what both she and his father want, right? Upon receiving the blessing from Madame Mirren, Breckin places the ring on the third finger of your left hand. Then he says that he loves you and promises to both serve you and be your ever faithful husband. From there, he reveals that it's time for you to meet his family, and that you are invited to the Hawthorne mansion for dinner tonight. When Breckin helps you to your feet, you can't help yourself and kiss your new fiancé right in front of your mother. She never admonishes you, however. Instead, she takes your right hand and tells you to enjoy yourself at the Hawthorne mansion tonight. She even tells you that you may be spending the night there if it becomes too late. You thank your mother for all that she's given you. She nods once in acknowledgement and sees you both to the door. After you both say goodbye, the entryway closes. From there, Breckin, still holding your hand, escorts you to the limo. He allows you to get him back first, before he comes in and sits with you. Breckin sees how you admire him, especially since you are now engaged to be married. Before long, the two of you come together and share some kisses. When you eventually hear the sliding panel moving, you know the two of you have privacy. Since the drive to Ridgeway Heights, where his family lives, is an hour, you allow yourself to be relieved of your dress. When Breckin is also naked before you, you allow him to pleasure you as he has done so many times during your courtship. You gasp, then laugh at the pure pleasure you're feeling. By the time the limo reaches the Hawthorne mansion, the two of you are dressed once more. When the limo finally stops, Breckin tells you that it's time.
You're not safe yet. Weekly Spooky will be right back.
You allow Breckin to bring you out of the limo. You've only ever been outside of Breckin's mansion. Never once have you been inside. You can see that his parents are standing at the French back doors. Like you and Breckin, they are also formally dressed. You don't recall ever seeing them in person before, yet you've wondered many times why they would allow their son to court you. Breckin finally presents you to his parents. This is Priscilla Mirren, the woman who I am to wed. He glances to you now. Priscilla, these are Brackus and Alexandria Hawthorne, my parents, and yours once we're married. You can barely speak to them, but then you remember that you are royalty and conduct yourself as such. You have no problem breaking the ice with Breckin's parents after all. They seem most pleased to finally meet you. Finally, they invite you both inside. Breckin escorts you to the living room, where other members of the Hawthorne family are seated. You remember the elegant-looking woman of about your age, sitting in the recliner. Nietzsche Hawthorne is Breckin's older sister. In fact, she is the eldest child. In the beginning, she gave you that look that said she probably wasn't going to like you. Just the same, she indulged her younger brother and talked to you. In time, you became close enough to do things together. You had heard both Breckin and Nietzsche talk about the other siblings in their youngest brother Asa and their younger sister Vane. In fact, the way they're looking at you makes you feel uneasy. But you brush it off, remembering that's how Nietzsche was with you at first. It's when Brackus and Alexandria announce that you and Breckin are to be married that Asa and Vane both give you softer expressions. You engage in conversation with your future family. Before long, one of the servants enters the living room to say that dinner is ready to be served. Brackus tells all of you that it's time to move into the dining room. Once again, you allow Breckin to take your hand to help you to your feet. From there, he escorts you into the grand dining room. Soon, Alexandria takes your hand and brings you to your place at the table. Once seated, Alexandria helps you bring your chair closer to your place. Once all of you are seated, Brackus tells the servants to serve the meal. Then he tells you that it's a very special banquet prepared in your honor. When you look at Breckin, who's seated next to you, he smiles and holds your hand once more. As you're looking at the Hawthorne family, you can't help but wonder, Why are they always so pale? You knew that Breckin was pale when you first met him. Nietzsche was just as pale when you first met her. But to see the entire family looks rather pale? As Breckin holds your hand, you've always felt it was cold to the touch. Then again, Breckin was always mild-mannered whenever the two of you were together. Except, of course, when the two of you were being intimate. That was when he showed you that he was a real man. And how many times had you and Nietzsche held hands? No, the two of you had never been intimate the way you had been with Breckin. But you and Nietzsche shared many things with each other. You've both shared intimate details that you've made solemn promises to keep secret between just the two of you. Nietzsche even called you her sister. Yet every time the two of you held hands, or even hugged each other, she herself was cold. Then you finally observe that every room in the house is warmed by a fireplace and lit by candles or torchlights. You remember Nietzsche telling you that her family was very old school and didn't use gas or electricity in their mansion. Perhaps that explained why everything seemed cold. When the first course is served, you are most surprised when you're given a dish of raw meat that appears to be saturated in some kind of red sauce. When the servant appears next to you with the gravy bowl, Nietzsche immediately recommends the sauce. You allow the servant to give you a generous helping over your food. From there, Brackus declares that the family may dine. You have eaten a good 5 courses with the Hawthorne family, while you yourself have certainly dined on exquisite dishes that those living outside of your walled community could only dream of seeing, let alone tasting. You have never seen foods quite like this. Much to your surprise, you were able to eat every single bite. You almost want to ask what the food was exactly, but you don't wish to insult Breckin's family in any way. It's true that you're going to be a member of the Hawthorne family soon, but you fear the wrath of your mother more if she were to be upset by your actions. You keep your mouth shut and continue engaging in pleasant conversation with the family. Late in the evening, Breckin brings you into the bedroom that the servants have prepared for the two of you. Once you both know that you're quite alone, you engage in sexual bliss with each other once again. Once more, Breckin shows you that he's more than capable of pleasing you in bed. You yourself know that you are just as pleasing and desirable to your fiancée. When the two of you are finished, you let Breckin hold you in his arms. Even then, you realize that he's always felt cold. There is a fireplace in the bedroom, but it's not burning. Despite feeling so frigid, you're so very tired that you fall deeply asleep.
Don't go away. Weekly Spooky will be right back.
Eventually you wake up, still naked and with the blankets covering you. You quickly sit up and wonder, where is Breckin? You realize you're going to have to put your dress back on to go and look for him. When you've finished dressing, you leave the bedroom. Soon you come face to face with one of the servants. After asking Breckin's location, the servant points outside. You thank him and allow him to escort you to one of the French back doors. He opens it and gestures for you to exit. After the servant closes the door, you walk into the vast gardens. Soon, you hear it in the distance. Horrible, evil laughter. When you are well enough into the garden, you feel someone slamming right into you. You turn around and see it's a young girl of about your own age. "Help us!" she shrieks, grabbing your shoulders. "Please, help us!" You don't know what to think. The girl is dressed as if she'd been out clubbing. It's not long before a second girl, dressed nearly the same way, finds her friend. She also begs you to help them. Before you can respond, you feel someone else is right there with you. You turn to see Nietzsche. But where was she before? You can see she's dressed for clubbing herself. The only difference is that she herself is barefoot. "Nietzsche, help us!" one of the girls beckons. "Your brothers and your sister have gone crazy!" Nietzsche looks quite sinister now. "Crazy, you say?" Then she laughs coldly. "Oh, no, 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 my dears. You are the prey we're hunting in our game tonight." Then she takes your hand. "Priscilla here is the newest member of our family, and she must be allowed to play." Now Nietzsche turns to face you. "And I have been given the honor of training you, Priscilla." Now you're wondering if you're losing your mind. Seriously, what is going on around the Hawthorne mansion? You're truly seeing a new side to Nietzsche when her face changes. Now she has glowing red eyes and long, sharp fangs. Her hands are now claw-like. The mortal girls both scream and run. Nietzsche turns to you. "Okay, honey, now it's time to join the hunt." You hold yourself and tremble before your close friend now. But... Ah! When you turn and run, Nietzsche suddenly appears right in front of you. She puts gentle hands on your shoulders. I know. I was the same way, Priscilla. Trust me, you'll be given every opportunity we have to offer. But you shall learn how to hunt this night. You scream again and turn away from Nietzsche. Again, she's right there in front of you. There's no need to be afraid, my sister. Not tonight, and not ever again. Suddenly, you feel a very sharp pain in your stomach and drop fast. You clench your teeth and are ready to scream. But Nietzsche seems ready to help you. She uses one of her claws to open up her flesh above her left breast. Drink from me, Priscilla, she instructs you. Somehow you find your humanity. In spite of the pain, you push Nietzsche away and get up to run again. You soon catch up to the two girls who begged for your help. You tell them you know the way out and for them to follow you. You bring them back into the mansion and remember the way to the French front doors. But as soon as you open one of them, you see Breckin there, blocking your way. Only now, he doesn't look like the gentleman who was ready to honor you in marriage. Like Nietzsche, he also has glowing red eyes and long fangs. You point to Breckin. "You just stay away from me!" Like Nietzsche, Breckin also looks at you with patience. "Mother said you might be this way." "I've got this, brother," Nietzsche says, suddenly right there with you. Now Nietzsche turns you to face her. Again, she slices the skin above her left breast. Again, you feel that sharp pain in your stomach that brings you to your knees. You hurt so badly that you're crying. Only now, there's something different about your tears. They don't feel like water, more of a thicker sensation. When you feel better enough to wipe your tears away, you see crimson on your fingers. That's when Nietzsche kneels to you and presses her open flesh to your mouth. "Drink, Priscilla, now!" Upon tasting Nietzsche's blood, you find you can't stop drinking from her. Soon you're feeling so much better. In fact, you're feeling like a whole new woman. As if she knows, Nietzsche eases you away and gets back to her feet. Then she helps you back to yours. "Now you understand, my sister," Nietzsche murmurs. "For you to be a part of our family, you have to be one of our family. You understand that you yourself are a vampire now." Nietzsche explains that you needed to become one in order to solidify the union between yourself and Breckin. Nietzsche further explains that you finished your siring at dinner. The food you consumed was soaked in Breckin's blood. But didn't Breckin have to drink from you first? You remember your mother explaining that to you when she told you old stories about vampires. Now you remember that Breckin did drink from you when you were having sex in the limo on the way to the mansion, which you learn was actually 3 nights ago. As it turned out, you were left in bed where you died and underwent your transformation. Now you're feeling your own fangs and know you want to hunt those girls for yourself. Nietzsche continues to instruct you in your new lifestyle. Soon the two of you have taken the mortal girls and are drinking from them. As you embrace your new life as a vampire, you know you are once again pleasing your mother. You discover that you are correct when the wedding ceremony takes place between yourself and Breckin the following week. Upon your betrothment, you know you will have a pivotal role to play in this new union between the Hawthornes and the Mirrens. But what is that role exactly? You shall have to wait another day to find out. Or rather, another night. Well, my spookies, it looks like a member of the Mirren family may have finally met their match in terms of eccentric family values. But we'll just have to wait and see, because you never know when we'll take a road back to Strickfield and find out what's going on in Ohio's most twisted town. So, make sure you're subscribed on your favorite podcasting app, because we have brought you something scary every single week for nearly 6 years. We haven't missed one yet, so subscribe and we'll take care of your spooky needs. And speaking of needs, if you want to help me out with that car repair I was talking about, I really do appreciate any and all support at weeklyspooky.com/help. Having over $3,000 in car repairs you weren't really expecting can really put a damper on anyone's night and bring you a kind of fear and terror that is not as fun as what we normally do here. That's weeklyspooky.com/help. And speaking of, I want to say an extra special thank you to our Patreon podcast boosters, folks who go to weeklyspooky.com/join and pay a little bit extra to hear their names at the end of the show. And they are Kate and Lulu, Jessica Fuller, Jenny Green, Amber Hansford, Brent McCullough, Karen Ouimet, Jack Kerr, and Craig Cohen. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart for your support. And if you want to hear your name at the end of the show or just get 2 bonus shows every single month for as little as $1, head to weeklyspooky.com/join. Not only do you get 2 shows every month, but you also get over 5 years of creepypasta readings, audiobooks, and so much more at weeklyspooky.com/join. Well, my friends, it's time for me to get back to work because, well, that car bill is not going to pay itself, and I was sincerely not expecting it. It kind of came out of nowhere, so thank you all for all your help, support, kind words, anything. You can also write me at weeklyspooky@gmail.com and just tell me something good and spooky. I'd appreciate it. But now, for myself, for my executive producers, Rob Fields, Mark Shields, and Bobbletopia.com, my producer, Dan Wilder, and of course, my composer, Ray Mattis, I will talk at you next time.
Thank you for listening. Make sure to find your way back next week. But for now, you are safe. Trust me.